Hi, it's me, the autistic Gen X software developer, unemployed. Thank you, job market and AI. With autism, depression, anxiety. I don't even know. I have no intro, but some call me Tim. And today I wanted to talk about Ghost Pirate. This is a very terrible. Okay, so this starts because I have a daughter. I have two daughters, but my youngest, we're sitting at the table. I want you to imagine this. She's 15, 16 maybe. She's grown up. She's not a child. She has all of her mental faculties, and we're sitting at the table and we're eating dinner, and she just says off the cuff, like, I think it's amazing how a parent can completely screw up a child and have no idea. And then she just went back to eating. Like, what? She just dropped that and went on. And the sad thing is I knew what she was talking about. Right? I knew. So when she was little, 6 or 7 maybe, I don't know. She was a kid. She was playing in her bedroom at night. In our backyard, our dog would go over to the far corner of the fence and bark at the other dogs. He would jump up. There's like a pile of wood. He would jump up on the wood, try and get as high as he could, right? And just bark, 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 bark. It was so irritating. So I went outside to yell at him like I always do. Hey, get inside. Okay, he goes inside. And then as I'm walking back, I see my daughter is playing in her room because the blinds are open. And so I walked up to the window and I was like, hey, how you doing? And it's nothing. I don't see anything. So then I scratched on the screen. Nope. Okay, I guess she can't see me. And I went in. And that was the end of that. Now, fast forward years later, I haven't put 2 and 2 together. But we were talking about, this was a separate incident. This was, a couple years before, how she can't close the blinds if it's dark. I would have to go into her room if it was dark and the blinds were open. I'd go into her room for her and shut the blinds because, when the light is on at night, you see your reflection in the window. You don't actually see out the window. And so I'm like, yeah, but why? And then she said, okay, I didn't want to tell you guys this because I thought you wouldn't believe me. But when I was younger, I was playing in my room at night and there was a ghost pirate that appeared in the window and he had a hook for a hand and he scraped along and I'm like, oh yeah. And he scraped on the screen. That was me. I just went out to get Bear and I came by to see you and she was like, oh my God. I'm like, you didn't see me. So I'm like, oh, well, she can't see me, because how the sun or how the light reflects off of the window. Right. And she was just like, oh my God, that was you. And I was like, what? So for years and years, this child was terrified of the ghost pirate that was just me saying hi through the window. And so, yes, so her comments, while it hurt, I knew exactly what she meant. It's amazing how a parent can completely screw up a child and have no idea. I knew now, but at the time, I didn't know. I never put 2 and 2 together. Like, that. Why is she terrified of shutting the blinds? And that somehow turned into a ghost pirate. I don't know. I guess because it's a hook, it must have been a pirate. And so there are no pirates we were in New Mexico at the time. There are no pirates in New Mexico, no bodies of water. So it must have been a ghost. This is the only possible explanation. And so I'm not going to say anything either. I think some random dude was at my window scratching on it with a hook. And I'm just going to pretend like nothing happened for years. It's not like any of us have ever done anything like that. But yeah. Oh, the ghost pirate. It's, yeah. So So, you start asking your kids about these questions. And as they get older, you start finding out things they did that they haven't told you about, because now they're adults and they're married. They have their own job and their own house. And what are you going to do? Ground them? Like they can finally say, hey, I almost set fire to the kitchen at one time. Or yeah, actually they lit a tissue on fire and dropped it and burnt a hole in the carpet. And I think there were lots of things that they did that they weren't supposed to do that I found out about later. It's fine. I mean, again, I can't ground them. I would have grounded them. How dare they do something? I don't know. We've always parented in the sense that we got to let the kids screw around and find out, right? If you don't, just like how I did in a previous video, where I don't know what time it is. I don't know. 5, right? The kids do that too. It's like, well, we're going to go to the mall. Okay. What time? I don't know. Which mall? I don't know. And I say, okay. And just drop them off and drive away. And it's like, I'm at the wrong mall, or I'm 2 hours early. And it's like, well, I guess you're going to have to sit there for 2 hours, huh? Because you didn't check to see what time it was. You didn't ask your friend, hey, what time are you going to be there? You just were like, I don't know, just go now. So, kids come by it, honestly. That's something I'm just this bad. Because I'm kind of a space cadet, just like my kid. Sometimes people say things which are obviously fake, and I'm like, really? Like... And my kid is too. My one daughter has some common sense. The other one takes after her father instead of her mother, and sometimes just doesn't think. She got better in college because she had a buddy who would constantly mess with her until finally she realized, like, okay, there aren't pumpkins, don't grow on the moon. Like, those things aren't real. He's, finally stop and think, kid. Like, I think he's screwing with you. But, we would just take everything at face value. Be like, oh, okay, pumpkins grow on the moon. I didn't know that. I wonder how they harvest them. I wonder, why doesn't make sense? Is there no air or dirt? Who plants them? All these questions you would think, wait a minute, this is probably not true. No, just... okay, I'm just going on. I didn't know that. I'll file that away. I mean, I don't really care because, pumpkins appear at the store. So what do I care? But yeah, I am rambling. That's what I do. Tell stories. But yes, Ghost Pirate. So if there's something scary that's happened, like a ghost pirate, tell somebody. It could be, it could be, just a joke or a misunderstanding, or, somebody might know and have a logical explanation other than a pirate of ghost floating outside your window for some reason. Right. So yeah, just say something. And hey, if you've ever seen a real ghost, put that down in the comments. I want to hear about it. Because I've never seen a ghost or anything of supernatural variety, never been kidnapped by aliens, never anything. So I have nothing to go by on what it would be like to see a ghost. I don't think that they exist because we have cameras on our phones. Somebody would have seen something by now, but I don't know. Maybe you can't photograph them. Maybe they're just in your mind. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Peace.